Hey, what's up everyone? You good? This is Hyunmin Jung from HMJ Photography. So today, I want to talk about some good habits for photography. Just like some other athletes or some other professions, there's habits that you can adapt as a photographer or a person who likes to take photos. And today, I want to talk about that. And the first thing I want to talk about, and this one is, I have talked about this a couple times in my other videos, but carry your camera with you wherever you go. So, if you have ever met me in person, you would probably know that I always have my camera hanging around my neck or in my hand. That is because, yes, of course, it doesn't always mean that I'm always taking pictures. But to me, like, that is okay. Like, I don't mind having a camera, but not taking pictures. But what really makes me sad and even sometimes angry is that when there's something that I really want to photograph, but I don't have my camera, that is the moment that really irritates me. So that is why I always carry my camera. And I think even you can do that and make your life and photography go better. Well, it's not too hard these days because, I mean, even if you're not a photographer, you actually carry your cameras around everywhere because of this smartphone. But if you want better images than a smartphone, I suggest you take your dedicated camera. The next one is simulate the frame lines inside your eye visions. Like, what I mean is, like, let's say like when you're doing something or when you're seeing something, like, try to simulate, like, so if I had a 50mm lens, it would be about like this much. If I had 35, about this much. 28, this much, or even like 14mm, it would be like this much. I do that personally too, and I really think that that really helps you compose your images when you actually want to take photos. So like, it's like training your eyes and your brains. So like always, like, just guess. About 50mm would be about this much. Then if you want to check, actually see what 50mm looks like. So yeah, always simulate the frame lines. The third one is guess the exposures. And this is basically for people who likes to shoot film cameras, and mostly for people who don't have like light meters inside. So what you can do is, like, let's say you're outside and you're seeing some scenes or some places, and just guess, like, okay, so the ISO is 400 and the shutter speed would be 500, and it's quite sunny, but not super sunny, so probably about f11. And after that, what you can do is actually check if you're right with either digital cameras or some light meters. That way, you will soon be able to just do sunny 16, even if you have a camera that doesn't have a light meter inside. Next one is always empty your SD card. I have seen some people having pictures from like a decade ago in one SD card. And I personally think that that is very dangerous because the thing is, SD cards can break. So personally, I really don't like it when I have like some datas from like a week or two ago. So what I do is I always back it up in my external hard drive or sometimes in cloud. So yes, maybe you can invest in some external hard drives or some cloud systems. Well, if you're a member of Amazon Prime, there's a very good news for you because there's this thing called Amazon Photos, and if you're a member of Amazon Prime, you can use that for free. And what you can do with it is that you can store as much images you want in Amazon Photos, even the images that are not compressed. And that's all for free. Well, if you wanna use it for some videos, I think you have to pay something. But for photos, it's absolutely free if you're an Amazon Prime member and if you're paying for the membership. So why don't you try that one out? Next one is try to have a friend who you can talk about photography with. And like it could be like in a form of a workshop or just like talking about some like camera gears and whatnot. It doesn't only like make your photos significantly better, but also it helps you motivate yourself to take more photos and share with those friends. And yeah, like on a workshop note, don't even, you don't even have to like workshop your photos or other, like your friends' photos. You can like workshop some like other people's photos, and through that you can learn about like what works, what doesn't work. So yeah, have a good friend who you can talk about photography. Next one is have some other hobbies too. So you may be a professional photographer who does this for your job, or you may be a hobby photographer. But I personally think that having some other hobbies can really help you with your photography. So yeah, like photography is not like just completely individual, like singular art form. Like it's photography, but like all the other things that you do in your life influences your photography. So like maybe you can go on a hiking, which is a very good hobby if you're a photographer, because you can take your cameras and take some pictures, or like playing a musical instrument, or going to like concerts. All those can like inspire you to take good photos. And the next one is, it's kind of related, but listen to music. So what I often like to do is when I'm out on the streets taking like some street photography, I listen to music. The thing is, like, when I listen to music, the world looks a little bit different compared to when you're not listening to music. Like, let's say when you're listening to some like hardcore bands like Slayer or something, like the world will look in a bit like a super metal kind of way. Or maybe you can be a little bit classy and listen to some Chopin or something, and the world will look in a little bit classy kind of way. So that will also like very help you with your photos. And also what really helped me is when I was making my photo book, I was like continuously listening to Nick Drake, which is like one of my favorite musicians of all time. Sadly he passed away. But yeah, I was just listening to his music while I was like deciding which photos I want in my photo book and what kind of like things I will write for my photo book. So yeah, listen to music. And lastly, take in a lot of good images. So let's say like if you want to be a good chef, you need to eat a lot of good food. And photography is exactly the same. Like you have to see a lot of good things or hear a lot of good things or even eat a lot of good things or even bad things to improve your photography. And it doesn't even have to be just photos. Like let's say you're looking at some like paintings and that could be a very good inspiration to your photography. And of course, like I said, music, and also like something like video games can give a good influence to your photography too. Like recently, a lot of video games, they're absolutely beautiful. And like maybe you might not be able to like recreate the exact same scenery to that video game, but what's the fun in that? Like just let it just inspire you. And through that inspiration, try to take a photo. And of course, I try to look at a lot of good photos. Not so long ago, surprisingly, like if you wanted to look at some other people's photographs, like you had to either buy a photo book or go to a library to grab that photo book. But now it's so easy. You have Google, you have Instagram, and you can just simply search some photographer or some images, and voila, like there will be tons of really amazing images catered for you. Recently, but I also really like grabbing a photo book, and recently I got this photo book by Fan Ho. The title is Photography, My Passion, My Life. And yeah, like his photos are a huge inspiration to me as a street photographer. And like when I need some inspirations or like when I sometimes feel like I'm stuck, I just take a look at his photos and it really helps me. But yeah, grab a photo book, go to Instagram, go to Google. And also, you don't only have to look at good photos. Let's say you find an image that you don't like. But don't just stop there. What you can do is that think about why you don't like this photo. And maybe you can even find some photos that other people don't like. And try to think about or try to see what those other people don't like about that image. And thinking about photos will significantly improve will significantly improve your photography. Well, today it was a very simple video, but I hoped you like it. The thing is, I am going to Kyrgyzstan this week, and I'm leaving to Korea tomorrow. And of course, I am bringing my cameras to Kyrgyzstan, and I will try to take a lot of photos, and I will most likely share those images on my YouTube channel. So please stay tuned. Please love, subscribe, and maybe you can even share. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.